Today we're doing an interview with the EFC, and you can see all of their content on www.theedinburghfringe.com or follow them on Twitter at Fringe Edinburgh. I'm Rosa Hesmondhalgh and I'm the writer of Madame Ovary, and I'm also the performer. And Madame Ovary is a show about trying to stay relevant in your 20s and navigate the world after graduating when everyone else is trying to do the same, and then throwing a cancer diagnosis into the mix. So the world that you're trying to navigate gets a lot more complicated. I think the top reason people should come and see the show is to laugh about something that they maybe normally wouldn't laugh about or feel like they can't laugh about. I think with something like cancer, it's really important to find ways to laugh about it so that we can find ways to talk about it, and once we're talking about it, we're understanding it. Ovarian cancer and being 23 isn't something that you would really necessarily put together. I certainly didn't think you could be 23 and get ovarian cancer. So I think people should come and see Madame Ovary to gain a better understanding of how it happens and how it makes you feel, and sometimes you feel like taking the piss out of it and the situation you're in. I feel like a successful Fringe run for me would be like making the audience feel how I feel after I've seen a play at the Fringe that's made me really feel something that I've loved. Like maybe it does create a buzz and maybe it puts bums on seats, but I think importantly it makes people feel something. I went to the Fringe in 2013, so I just turned 18, and I saw a theatre company called Lost Watch and their play called Play for September, and I came out and I was just running around talking about how much I'd loved it and how much it made me want to create theatre, and how I'd identified it with it because they're a northern company and I wasn't, and I'm northern, and I just felt really seen, and if I could make any audience members feel like that, I'd feel like I'd had a successful run. I've never performed at the Fringe before. I've been as a punter. I'm really excited to perform at the Fringe. I feel like I haven't heard too many bad things about performing at the Fringe. Like maybe my friends know that it's my first time and so they're like protecting me, but I guess I've heard about being really knackered all the time. But I had chemo, so like, is it more knackering than that? But I've heard that, stuff like sharing a 4-person flat with like your cast and director and stage managers, and like that's like 12 people, like someone has to sleep in the bath, like that kind of thing. But it's a 1-person show, so maybe that's not going to be no sleeping in the bath for me. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's been nearly a year since I got the all clear, and I started rebuilding my life, which is amazing. So I was diagnosed at 23, and I think that being 23 and getting a diagnosis like that does absolutely add to the complexity of having cancer. Obviously, I think it's really complex at any age, but I guess me personally, at 23, I was in limbo a bit. Like I'd just graduated from drama school and I was working 3 jobs and trying to kind of sort my life out, but also trying to be an artist and get a break, and like going to all these auditions and writing all this really bad poetry about like loads of really bad men and I don't think I knew what direction I was heading in, so like I didn't feel like I had much control over my future. So then add this late stage rare ovarian cancer diagnosis on on top of all of that, and any remaining control is completely gone. So yeah, and I guess another hard thing to deal with being young and having cancer is that you're always the youngest person in the waiting room, so finding people to connect with who are in a very similar position to you is really difficult. I hope that there is a message that comes across to each member of the audience, but I don't really know what that's going to be. I hope maybe they'll find something for themselves in it. Like maybe for some people it would be that they'll learn a little bit about ovarian cancer symptoms and signs, and you know, come away with like a bit of education about something that I think is really important for us to educate ourselves about. And maybe for some people it will be a bit deeper than that. You know, I think there's a lot about love and about appreciating where you're at in the play, but I don't know, I don't want to force anything at any audience members, so I just want people to come on a bit of a journey with me for an hour, and if they get a message whilst that happens, then I'll be happy. It was actually at the beginning of the year one of my top things that I wanted to do in 2019, and even longer, like when I was coming to the end of my treatment, and I had a bit more headspace to like think about that kind of thing. I knew that I wanted to write about my experience with cancer, and I wanted it to be a play, and the first place I thought of taking it was the Fringe. And do I see the world differently since I got the all clear? I think I definitely do. I think I could write a separate show entirely about how it feels like the year after you have complete cancer treatment, and how you feel like you're expected to act and be. Like, part of me feels like I should like always grab life by the balls and like, you know, not think about consequences, but then also I feel a lot more cautious about certain parts of my life, and you feel, you know, you're affected by the trauma. So yeah, sometimes I'm like taking risks, like life is short, eat the cake, talk to people, you know, and go to the places that scare you. And other times, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna cross the road even though there's no traffic coming. I'm waiting for that green man, because it'd be a bit of shit if I beat cancer and then got run over, wouldn't it? My message would probably be that you are not alone. There's a really big, huge, beautiful group of people out there who get it, who understand, and are in a similar place, but it's just a matter of knowing where to find them. I found a lot of people through social media and through an amazing charity called Trekstock, actually, which everyone should look up because they're doing amazing work for people specifically in their 20s and 30s who have cancer. And that's such an overlooked age bracket of cancer patients. And it's a very isolating feeling, especially with a new diagnosis, or, you know, no matter how severe it is, you feel very alone. And so to feel welcomed and seen and understood, it takes a lot of the pain away. So yeah, my advice would be, or something I could say to people in the same situation that I was in, is find your people. You can find all things Madame Ovary on my Instagram and Twitter. My Instagram is Madame Ovary _ and my Twitter is Rosa Hes1. I'm not going to shut up about this show for like a good solid 3 months, I promise. And you should also, without a doubt, follow Wild Child, who you will probably know from their production of Kensky's Kingdom that they took to the Pleasance last year at the Fringe, and also their amazing production of Anomaly by Liv Warden, which was on at the Old Red Lion in January, which I saw and was just blown away by. And yeah, you can follow them both Instagram and Twitter at wildchild _UK, and their website is wildchildproductions.co.uk. And yeah, equally, we're not going to shut up about Madame Ovary until August, and maybe even afterwards. So yeah. You can see Madame Ovary at the Pleasance Dome in Jack Dome every single day from the 31st of July to the 26th of August, apart from the 13th of August. It's going to be on at 12:10 in the afternoon every single day. So please come, I'll see you there.